The Hero's Code, Ancient Rituals to Defeat Self-Doubt, from Hercules to Buddha. Chapter 1, The Call of the Mountain. In the mist-shrouded peaks of ancient Greece, a young warrior named Perseus stood at the edge of a cliff, staring into the abyss below. A thunderous voice echoed through the wind, "Do you seek glory, or do you seek to conquer your own fears?" Perseus answered with a trembling heart, "I seek glory." The roar of the wind replied, "Then climb the mountain of self-doubt and carve a stone of self-faith." Perseus pressed forward, breathless, and as he ascended, each step felt heavier, yet the view from the summit revealed a clearer sky. By the time he reached the peak, the mountain's shadow no longer seemed daunting. It became a path to his own resilience. The lesson from this ancient parable is simple. Self-doubt is an invisible mountain that we must climb each day with deliberate practice. When we treat it as an obstacle that may stand in front of us forever, we give it the power to make our lives harder. If instead we see it as a summit to be reached with patience and persistence, we can transform doubt into an opportunity for growth. In modern business, that means turning a missed deadline into a reason to refine the process, not a story of failure. Practical application today is to create a climb log. Each morning, write down a small fear or a self-doubt that sits in the back of your mind. Break that fear into 3 incremental actions you can add to your daily routine. For example, if you doubt your public speaking skill, schedule a 3-minute presentation to a teammate each day. Over 30 days, the fear will shrink and the path will feel less steep. By writing each step, you turn a vague doubt into a concrete plan. Conclusion: like Perseus, the key is to view self-doubt as a challenge to be conquered, not a curse to be avoided. By breaking it into manageable steps, we build the habit of climbing. Call to action. If you've ever felt stuck by self-doubt, like this story, double-tap the like button, share this with a friend who needs motivation, and follow for more heroic insights. Reflective question: what is the mountain of doubt you are climbing today, and what first step can you take to begin the ascent? Chapter 2, The Sword of the Sun King. In the Golden Age of Egypt, King Tutankhamun once faced a dilemma. The king's advisors told him that the sun was too powerful to wield in battle, but a small Egyptian warrior asked for his favor to try a sword fashioned from gold leaf and sun rays. The warrior's boldness impressed the pharaoh, who said, "If you dare to wield the sun's strength, you can also wield your own inner power." The warrior carried his sword into a neighboring war and emerged victorious, not because of the sword's blade, but because his confidence radiated like the sun. From this tale, we learn that confidence is a visible trait that others can see, even if the root lies inside us. Ancient Egyptians believed that the sun was a source of life energy. They painted it on walls and used it to sanctify temples. Modern entrepreneurs can mimic that ritual by turning a simple tangible symbol, such as a wristband, a badge, or a favorite quote printed near the workspace, into a daily reminder of their intrinsic power. When doubt visits, a glance at the symbol flares the mind like a sunrise, restoring calm. To replicate the Sword of the Sun King ritual, choose a simple token that resonates with strength and clarity. Place it where you will see it each day, perhaps on your phone wallpaper or as a small pendant. Each time you encounter self-doubt, touch the token until the internal flame returns. Combine this with a brief repetition of a phrase you invented that encapsulates your purpose. For example, "I am the light of this moment." You have thus created your own sun. Conclusion: confidence is not static. It is a flame that must be rekindled daily. By ritualizing your focus on inner strength, you can face any external skepticism. Call to action. If you found this story meaningful, hit the like button, share with someone who needs a shining reminder, and subscribe for more daily rituals. Reflective question: what token will you use as your personal sun, and how will it help you rekindle confidence each day? Chapter 3, The Dance of the Dragon. In the mystic lands of China, during the reign of Emperor Wu, a dragon was seen in the sky, a symbol of power and wisdom. The emperor's general, Li Shimin, believed the dragon was a test of leadership. He gathered his troops and, rather than forcing them into the storm, led them through an elegant dance that mirrored the dragon's grace. The troops felt unity, fear turned into a shared purpose, and the battle won without a single lost life. The moral remains relevant. When we face internal battles, coordination with others can transform fear into strategy. In business, self-doubt can feel like a dragon that snarls at every decision. The ancient Chinese notion of harmony underlines that the dragon's power can be redirected into a group dance. That means building a support network, sharing your doubts openly, and receiving feedback that turns anxiety into a collaborative strategy. During a team meeting, articulate a specific project challenge. Invite input from each member, encouraging them to provide ideas that respect the dragon's power but channel it constructively. When the team speaks, you turn personal fear into a shared resilience. To apply this today, schedule a mind dance session. Invite a colleague or mentor for a 30-minute conversation where you voice a fear and ask for perspective. Record their insights and identify a single action you can implement. When the dragon of self-doubt returns, you already have a dance floor ready to transform it into momentum. Conclusion: the dragon of self-doubt, if faced alone, can be ferocious. When we create a dance with trusted allies, we turn that power into an asset. Call to action. If you enjoyed our dragon duet, like, share, and hit subscribe to keep discovering ancient wisdom for modern warriors. Reflective question: who can you invite to your mind dance to help transform your inner dragon into a strategic ally? Chapter 4: The Mirror of the Buddha. In the quiet forest of Bodh Gaya, Gautama Buddha once stood before a mirror, looking not at his reflection, but at the emotions swirling within. He realized that self-doubt was a fog that could be dispelled by mindful awareness. Buddha practiced sitting with breath, observing each thought without judgment, and gradually the fog lifted. He understood that the mind's power lies in its detachment and clarity, a truth that echoes through countless teachings on mindfulness. The practical lesson for today is to adopt a daily reflective pause. When self-doubt creeps in, stop and breathe for 5 minutes. Notice the thought, label it simply as I doubt, and let it drift away like clouds. This practice mirrors the Buddha's reflective pause, allowing you to see doubt as a transient visitor rather than a constant companion. When you practice detachment, you free yourself to act with clarity and purposeful action. To bring this into daily life, schedule a mindful pause each morning. Set your phone to a calming tone at 8 a.m. and use a timer. As the sound blares, breathe deeply, observe, and gently release any doubt that surfaces. When the timer ends, transition to the day's tasks. Over days and weeks, you will find that self-doubt is no longer urgent but a fleeting thought. Conclusion: the Buddha's mirror teaches us that self-doubt can only be diminished when we observe it without attachment. With consistent practice, doubt becomes a quiet shadow, not a looming storm. Call to action. If the idea of a mindful pause intrigues you, tap the like button, share with a friend on their own path, and subscribe to learn more ancient practices for modern minds. Reflective question: how will you set aside time today to face your inner mirror and let doubt pass like a gentle breeze? Philosophy Spotlight: Stoicism, the path of discipline and resilience. Stoicism, the Greek philosophy founded by Zeno of Citium and brought to prominence by thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, offers a framework for mastering the internal battle against doubt. At its core, Stoicism teaches that we cannot control events outside our own mind. What we can influence is our judgment and our response. The Stoic discipline sharpens resilience, cultivates clarity, and nurtures the kind of calm confidence that turns doubt into a challenge we can confront. Historical figure: Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor turned philosopher, kept a daily personal journal, known as Meditations, where he reminded himself that each fear, each difficulty was merely an opportunity to use a wise, calm mind. In a single entry he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That simple truth is the engine behind every Stoic practice. Lessons from Stoicism for modern success. 1. Recognize the distinction between what you can control and what you cannot. A common modern scenario is a presentation that goes wrong. Instead of rousing self-doubt over the mishap, focus your energy on the next question: how you will engage the audience now. You become the master of the moment rather than a victim of error. 2. Practice the art of perspective. Imagine your day from a distant vista as if you observed yourself in a calm setting. When self-doubt spikes, mentally step back. By viewing the situation as an incidental footnote, you can choose a rational, actionable path rather than a paralyzing emotional one. 3. Embrace the discipline of present moment focus. The Stoic idea of living according to nature is the modern equivalent of aligning your goals with your values. In daily life, this means setting clear, grounded intentions for each task. When doubt arrives, refer back to the intention and choose the action that aligns with it. Connecting Stoicism to the theme, the hero's code, from Hercules to Buddha, is essentially a series of rituals to command inner courage. Stoicism provides the structural discipline that supports these rituals. While Hercules summoned divine strength, Stoics trained the mind to be equally unyielding. They did not seek external validation. They cultivated an internal confidence that does not waver under self-doubt. By merging ancient heroism with Stoic resilience, we create a modern archetype capable of conquering the internal dragons that block our greatest achievements. Philosophy application, daily Stoic ritual. Begin each morning with a 3 questions ritual inspired by Epictetus. Write these questions on a single sticky note. 1. What is one action I can take today that aligns with my purpose? 2. Which aspects of today's challenges are outside my control? 3. How will I maintain my calm if I encounter those outside aspects? When the day is hectic, revisit the note. This routine anchors your mindset and transforms self-doubt into directed movement. Conclusion. The ancient heroes of myth and history possessed rituals that turned doubt into triumph. By weaving together the storytelling power of legendary battles, the tangible symbolism of the Egyptian sun, the collaborative grace of the Chinese dragon, and the mindful clarity of the Buddha's mirror, we craft a blueprint that is both timeless and timely. Adding the Stoic discipline deepens the framework, providing a sturdy mental spine that supports the heroic heart. Call to action. You've journeyed through mountains, swords, dragons, mirrors, and the Stoic discipline of ancient Greece. If you feel inspired, like this video, share it with fellow dreamers, and subscribe to continue unlocking timeless wisdom for real-world success. Final reflective question. As you stand before today's choices, how will you channel the hero's code and the Stoic clarity to transform self-doubt into decisive action?